Now, as I said at the beginning, this is the time, the opportunity for ulama of Ahlul Shia, because this is the what we can say authentic perspective and the stance of Ahlul Sunnah, and which has been, mashallah, nicely presented by Sheikh Mufti Muhammad Farooq, and the questions from your time. This is your opportunity, and I am sure this paper can dissipate so many misconceptions and the stereotypes which is revolving among Shia brothers and Shia ulama regarding Ahlul Sunnah, because they are the enemies of Ahlul Bayt, don't believe in it, so many others. And very especially, there are some hardliners from Ahlul Sunnah. Very unfortunately, they are in minority, but they clearly insulting Ahlul Bayt. So they cannot represent the proper and the authentic view of Ahlul Sunnah here. And Maulana Ashraf Qureshi knows them very well, because unfortunately they got involved in tashaddud violence as well. But the Ahlul Sunnah, they do not believe in any kind of violence. There is ikhtilaf, obviously, and finally we're going to just point out what are ikhtilafi points. But this is the stance, the viewpoint of Ahlul Sunnah, and which is the authentic one. Okay. Yeah, Sheikh Arif.
Thank you, Marana, for such an enlightening paper. I have a few questions. You say that according to the Hadith of Thaqalain, the view was that these are only Ali, Fatima, Al-Hassan, and Hussein. So when the Prophet said, Inni tarik fikum Thaqalain, or the way it's narrated, lan tadillu ba'di. So does that mean that even though that according to Ahlul Sunnah, even though that the wives are Ahlul Bayt, but when it comes to the guidance, the wives are not a part of Ahlul Bayt, but this status goes to Ali, Fatima, Hassan, and Hussein, according to Ahlul Sunnah, from the way that you have analyzed the text, and I have a few more questions from it as well.
समझ आ रही है, थोड़ी सी एक्सप्लेन कर पॉइंट उनका ये है कि जो आपने पेपर पेश किया है, इससे ये साबित होता है कि जो वाइफ हैं अज़वाज मुतहरात की मरकज़ हिदायत वो नहीं है, मरकज़ हिदायत ये चार हैं जो अहादीस पेश की गई है, उनको मरकज़ हिदायत की हैसियत से पेश किया, और जो वाइफ्स का तज़किरा किया गया वो अहकामात के तहत उनको हुक्म दिया गया ये करें ये करें ये करें। लेकिन अहादीस ये बताती हैं कि जो मरकज़ हिदायत जो असल अहले बैत हैं ये चार हैं, तो इसको आप किस तरह ले जाएंगे?
पहली चीज़ तो है कि मरकज़ हिदायत ये हमारा आज का मौजू नहीं है। हमने जो चीज़ वाज़े की है वो सिर्फ ये है कि अहले बैत कौन है। जहाँ तक मरकज़ हिदायत की बात है, तो जो मेरा अपना यानी कि जो रिसर्च है और तहकीक है, मैं उसके मुताबिक जवाब दूंगा। मुझे नहीं मालूम कि बाकी अहले सुन्नत इसके साथ मुत्तफ़िक़ होंगे या नहीं होंगे। रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम की अज़वाज जो हैं, ये तो बात तयशुदा है कि अज़लुल कुरान वो अहले बैत में शामिल है। अब रही मरकज़ हिदायत की बात, तो किताबुल्लाह ने क़यामत तक बाकी रहना था, और रसूलुल्लाह की औलाद ने भी क़यामत तक रहना है। रसूलुल्लाह की जो अज़वाज हैं वो जब फौत हो गई, दुनिया से रुखसत हो गई, तो मामला ख़त्म हो गया। लेकिन हिदायत की जो ज़रूरत है वो क़यामत तक इंसानियत को है। तो ये अहादीस भी इसी तरफ इशारा करती हैं, और मेरे ख्याल में बात सही यही है कि मरकज़ हिदायत जो है वो किताबुल्लाह है और अहले बैत में से औलाद रसूल है।
तो फिर हज़रत हुसैन के बाद कौन?
इसको अगर आप ट्रांसलेट कर दें।
Maulana Sahib's response is that according to his analysis, when the Prophet said, I leave the book with you and Ahlul Bayt, it means that since the book is an ongoing truth till the day of Qiyamah, the Ahlul Bayt also need to survive till the day of Qiyamah. The wives of the Prophet are Ahlul Bayt, but they died and they left this world. So by priority, Maulana Sahib is saying that yes, Hidayah comes from the Book of Allah and Ahlul Bayt, and these Ahlul Bayt survive to the day of Qiyamah. And if the Prophet has mentioned them to be those four individuals, then the Hidayah comes through them. So the next question is, Just two more. So who comes after Al-Hussein according to Ahlul Sunnah?
I think we are avoiding the real crux of the matter. Crux of the matter, this Markaz Hidayah, what is the status of Markaz Hidayah in Ahlul Sunnah? What are the repercussions, or who is Ahlul Bayt or not? So if we should establish that, which is important, and that it's very beautiful, mashallah, presentation, but that means it does not include it.
Sorry?
Markazul Hadaya, as Shia theology says, what is the status of that in among the Ahlul Sunnah?
No.
Are you with me?
I just want some clarifications here, because I've got another question here as well in accordance with the presentation. So if you can just let me finish. So, okay, Hazrat Hussein के बाद की बात हम नहीं करते अभी, दूसरी बात मुझे पूछना है. आपने कहा आले इमरान की जो आयत, you said Ali verse Ali Imran. قل تعالوا ندعو أبناءنا وأبناءكم. Now here there was no question of hidayah. They weren't going to guide people here in Uhud. So why did the Prophet, question one, take Al-Hasan and Hussein, Ali and Lady Fatima, when there was no question of hidayah here? They weren't going to engage in a discussion or a debate. Here they were going to bring about la'na on each other. We put the la'na of Allah on the liars. Does that mean, therefore, that these four people, according to Ahlul Sunnah Hadith, are spiritually more advanced than the rest of the people over there, the Sahaba and the wives? Is that the implication?
इसको आप उर्दू के अंदर भी, क्योंकि दोनों की जरूरत है ना, उर्दू के अंदर भी इसका खुलासा है, बता दें, आप बेहतर बताएं.
ये जो आयत है आले इमरान की, वहाँ तो कोई एहतिजाज की बात नहीं थी, मुबाहिसा नहीं करने वाले थे. वहाँ तो सिर्फ एक ही बात थी कि खुदा की लानत झूठों पर नाजिल करे. तो क्या इसका मतलब अहले सुन्नत के यहाँ ये है कि ये चार जो शख्सियतें थी जिन्हें रसूलुल्लाह देकर गए, इनका रूहानी ओहदा दूसरों से बढ़कर था, खास चाहे सहाबा हो या अज़वाज नबी हो.
इसमें just after Mufti Saab's answer, as the rest of the ulama Ahlul Sunnah, they can aid, any clarification, their own view, anything, right? It's not necessarily only one person is answering, the rest of they can share.
आप कह सकते हैं ये सही है कि जिस वक्त
Just can I just explain something in ayah فنجعل لعنة الله على الكاذبين, that Sheikh Arif, that he said that ayah here is not for hidayah. So why when we invite Hassan Hussein and here is not for that, it's for la'na. It's something called in Arabic مفهوم المخالفة. مفهوم المخالفة means that فنجعل لعنة الله على الكاذبين إذا رحمة الله على الصادقين الذين هم أهل الهداية. هنا مفهوم الآية بالمخالفة فنجعل لعنة الله على الكاذبين that not mean that it's not for hidayah. The ayah here is for hidayah, but بمفهوم المخالفة فنجعل لعنة الله على الكاذبين. So who is kadhib? He will take la'na from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And who is not kadhib, which is sadiq, مفهوم المخالفة, with the opposite understanding. This is الهداية، هم أهل الهداية، الصادقون هم أهل.
سؤالي هو هذا، أن هؤلاء الخمسة الأشخاص يدعون إلى الله، فهل هذا يعني أن مرتبتهم في الروحانية أرقى من الباقي؟ لماذا لم يأخذ الرسول آخرون؟ فأريد أن أسأل من أهل السنة، هل تقبلون أنتم أن هؤلاء أربعة أشخاص فقط هؤلاء أربعة أشخاص عند الله مرتبتهم أرقى من الباقي حتى يسمع الله كلام هؤلاء الأربعة؟ وأما مفهوم المخالفة فعندنا يأتي بعادات الشرط فقط. بعادات الشرط المفهوم المخالفة والموافقة، بس مفهوم المخالفة يأتي عند عادات الشرط. إذا دق الجرس فكذا وكذا وكذا فمفهوم المخالفة.
ماذا تقول؟ السؤال الأول.
عن السؤال الأول بأن هؤلاء أهل البيت خاصة
هؤلاء
لهم
أربعة خاصة.
هؤلاء الأربعة لهم مكانة خاصة عند الله بلا شك. نعم.
يعني من الباقي خلي
इसमें जो अहले सुन्नत का अथेंटिक है एस्टैब्लिश वो भी बता दें, अगर अपना व्यू साथ उसके साथ अगर आपको इख्तिलाफ हो वो भी बता दें, लेकिन उसमें the people they want to know the authentic established view of Ahl Sunnah.
Yeah.
That's why last time we alhamdulillah perceived and we understood the authentic view of Ahlul Bayt, you know, in the perspective of ulama Ahlul Shia, authentic Shia mazhab. And that was a lot of misunderstanding removed, dissipated. That was very good, and that's the same opportunity for the other side. MashaAllah. आपको
उसका
ये जैसा
सवाल
सो जवाब आप अपना सवाल याद रखेंगे. I had opportunity for you.
I have one final question.
Yes.
I'll later on
Yeah.
ask.
तो आपका ये जो पॉइंट है ना कि इस हवाले से, तो इसके ऊपर जितने भी अहले सुन्नत मुफस्सिरीन ने और मुहद्दिसीन ने इन चारों के बारे में लिखा है, जाहिर बात है कि कोई पांचवा और इसमें यानी इन चार के अलावा नबी अलैहिस्सलाम के अलावा बाकी और कोई शामिल नहीं. तो मेरा अपना जो नजरिया है इस सिलसिले में वो यही है कि ये चार जो हैं ये औला हैं बाकी सब के मुकाबले.
अहले सुन्नत का established
रूहानी एतबार से, हमने रूहानी का लफ्ज़ इस्तेमाल किया था, रूहानी एतबार से.
लेकिन अहले सुन्नत
I think it's only to show the
No, because that's can you Maulana, can you wait with a bit tartib because he never finished. No, the answer is not finished, Mufti Saab. The answer it is for that's your view, but the other side is what's the established authentic view of Ahlul Sunnah, because we have to disseminate the true knowledge, authentic. You can say as Ruhaniya spiritually they were greater regarding the rest of the people. I think this is not the authentic. This is not the established view.
अहले सुन्नत का जो
In a established view.
ये अहले सुन्नत का जो एस्टेब्लिश व्यू है ना जी, वो तो ये है कि दूसरे हजरात हैं जो मर्तबे और मकाम के एतबार से जिनको फजीलत हासिल है, इन चार को नहीं है. इन चार के मुकाबले में कुछ और लोग हैं जिनको फजीलत हासिल है. मसलन हजरत अबू बकर को अहले सुन्नत के नज़दीक बाद नबी सबसे अफजल करार दिया जाता है कि सबसे अफजल वो है, और फिर उसके बाद हजरत उमर है, फिर उस्मान है, और फिर इन चारों में से एक शख्सियत जो हजरत अली इब्न अबी तालिब है, तो फिर उनको चौथे नंबर पर जो है वो बाकियों के मुकाबले में फजीलत दी जाती है. अहले सुन्नत के यहाँ तो यही तरतीब जो है वो चल रही है और हमें किताबों से ये
According to Khilafah.
लेकिन मेरा ज़ाती पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू जो है वो ये है कि मेरे नज़दीक अली इब्न अबी तालिब जो है वो बाद नबी तमाम उम्मत में सबसे अफजल हैं, और आयत मुबाला के अंदर जो चार अफराद को बुलाया गया है तो वो मकाम और मर्तबे के एतबार से तमाम उम्मत के मुकाबले में अफजल हैं.
This is this is the established view of Ahl Sunnah. So this is in front of you. Dr. Hum Shisa wants to.
I am grateful to you that you asked him to say the authentic view of Ahl Sunnah, mainstream. I am grateful to you. The sequence for the presenter is supposed to be that first he gives authentic and mainstream view of Ahl Sunnah. He is speaking on behalf of Ahl Sunnah. Then he may or may not give his own personal view. But here it is going reverse.
So we corrected.
Jazakallah khairan. This is good. And second thing, there are serious questions when we say spiritually. What do you mean by spiritually? Or it includes succession, or it includes, there are serious questions which are not part of the presentation tonight, which I was hoping that it will be the crux of the matter. Because to a great extent, our Shia colleagues and friends, they include the wives of the Prophet to some extent as Ahlul Bayt, as we heard last time from Sheikh Jafar. They include, degree maybe second category, first category, that is, but they do include, because no one who reads Quran can't exclude them. No one can exclude them. But the whole crux of the matter, as I said, submitted earlier, that what are the repercussions? So whether our presenter likes to say that Abu Bakr was not the rightful caliph. This is what he means when he says that.
No, I don't know.
No.
This is what we like to understand from him, you know.
No. That's let me.
No. This question is not directed to you, sir. Directed to the presenter.
Yeah, yes,
I was asking in accordance with this paper, you see, Mufti Saab, in his presentation, has not given his personal view. He has clarified the view of Ahlus Sunnah. I was extrapolating other things from it. He didn't say anything of that, so he was giving an authentic presentation of Ahlus Sunnah. If you look at the paper, it's very unbiased. It's not saying, he doesn't say that I am saying this, I think this. These are the things I extrapolated. And that's why I asked him on beyond the scope of the paper from the things that can be extrapolated. Can you see that?
When
And-
someone is present himself, let him advocate himself
And
rather than he doesn't need an
No, I'm not-
advocate.
no, I'm
You
not-
know,
no, I'm-
let him say what he likes to
No,
say
I'm-
rather than you advocate him.
No,
You know?
then, let me clarify what I meant by spiritual. In the time of the Israelites, the kings were kings and the prophets were not kings, and the prophets were all afdal from the kings. Yes? So I don't see any inconsistency that somebody can be a khalifa and somebody is more afdal. I don't see any inconsistency in that.
No, this is your view, but we want to have the presenter view.
yes, sir. Ahl Sunnah can question Mufti Saab, but later on there is a time, inshallah. We have to give the opportunity for ulama Ahl Shia
A
first.
brief sentence.
You need to add something. If
Yes.
there is a clarification or no question,
No, it's a suggestion basically.
your time is coming.
Can
inshallah.
we stay on the topic and have rather separately Markaz al-Hadaya, separate topic, which is I believe we need separate time.
Yes. This is
So,
this is
this is my
a entirely separate topic, but just in definition, regarding the definition of Ahlul Bayt, sometimes just this word may be mentioned, but the proper definition, what's Markazul Hidayah, it needs separate time. And in the same way, this topic to some extent touching Sahaba as well, as Dr. Saab, Khurram Saab, he asked the question, but principally not today. The question of the succession, this is a wide-ranging topic, may be dealt with separately. But today we have to confine ourselves who are Ahlul Bayt, and they are Ahlul Bayt. They are Markazul Hidayah senior. They are also Markazul Hidayah junior or respected, this and that. This is the topic today. Yes, so this opportunity is for you, Maulana and Sheikh Abu Jafar. Yes. We need the question from your side.
Some people will do something in English, not everything in English. बहुत शुक्रिया, एक अच्छा प्रेजेंट किया आपने। I think that why are you discussing this point when you are not giving importance to the point that who is after Rasulullah, who seek guidance from him? Point is Ahlul Bayt. This is what we're discussing. That in the Shia, with Shia, we did it that the Prophet many times showed practically that these are my Ahlul Bayt. The one thing. Other thing is, same hadith, Dr. has mentioned here that the two things people must be considered. If we, al-tashayyu, in general meaning, they believe that wife of the Prophet, they were from Ahlul Bayt. We have said this. But in specified meaning, and that is, Prophet was showing that who is after me to come and seek guidance. The showing is telling us, we will learn from that. That 3, 4, 5 times Prophet told the people that.
Muhammad, time is very short. If you ask the question, any
I'm
question,
asking
very
question.
briefly,
I'm
very
asking
briefly.
question. If you exclude the who are markers at the moment from wife and this, my question is that then still we are there that okay, Ahl Sunnah has not taken Sunnah of the Prophet from these 4 other personalities. Only 2 hadiths are there in books, and the most of the hadiths are related to Hazrat Abu Hurairah. The second person is Hazrat Bibi Aisha. So why these Ahlul Bayt are ignored by? When we're talking about, everybody agree upon it. We agreed upon it that these are Ahlul Bayt. We agreed upon that is Ahlul Bayt. When we agreed upon that, why Ahl Sunnah ignored this facility, taking Sunnah from Rasulullah by these people?
The rest of ulama can, sir, can answer, can give their view.
पहले मुफ्ती साहब
हाँ,
ये इनकी जो बात है ना कि सवाल बड़ा वाज़ेह कि अहले बैत से क्यों नहीं लिया गया और ये सवाल शिया के ऊपर भी आता है कि जब आप अज़वाज नबी को अहले बैत मान रहे हैं और वो अहले बैत में शामिल हैं तो आप ये बताएं कि आपकी सिहा जो हैं और जो ऑथेंटिक किताबें हैं आपकी उनमें अज़वाज नबी की कितनी रिवायात हैं? आप लोगों ने अज़वाज पैगंबर से कितनी रिवायात ली हैं?
उसका जवाब
मेरी बात कंप्लीट करने दें। उसके बाद जहाँ तक इस बात का ताल्लुक है कि अहले बैत से अहले सुन्नत ने रिवायात कम ली है तो मैं समझता हूँ कि कम नहीं ली है। अगर आप अहले सुन्नत की तमाम किताबें हदीस की उठा के देखें और उनमें मशहूर जो सियासता है प्लस मुस्नद अहमद, इन किताबों को अगर आप देखें तो सैकड़ों अहादीस हैं जो इनसे अहले बैत से ली गई हैं। उसमें सबसे ज्यादा सैयदना अली बिन अबी तालिब से हैं ये रिवायत ली गई हैं। तो जितनी रिवायात अहले सुन्नत ने अहले बैत से ली हैं उसके मुकाबले में आपने सहाबा से अशरी शीफ भी नहीं ली।
I think that
can you translate?
One of the responses that on the contrary, the Ahlul Sunnah takes great deal of riwayat from the Ahlul Bayt as mentioned in the by the strict sort of the narrower sort of definition of the Markaz of Hidayah, whatever you call them, in the Kitab Allah wa Itrati, and as opposed to if you look at the Sahih books with Musnad bin Ahmad, there's been tens of hadiths taken from especially Ali ibn Abi Talib, and as opposed to that, the Shias, whilst admitting that the wives are the Ahlul Bayt, have not taken anything, or very rarely do they take from the wives of the Prophet, and Mullah is supposed to respond to that.
the second point was that this hadith, Dan the Dillu, this is talking about Hidayah. Why are you ignoring this? We are sitting for this sake. We are listening here for this sake that we have to find that what is the Markaz of Hidayah? Dan the Dillu, Kitab Allah wa Itrati. The second word is Itrati. They're not Al-Bayti only.
Sheikh, you misunderstood it. Let me clarify it. When we said Markazul Hidayah, it's a wide-ranging topic. It's enough here we have to mention it. They are Markazul Hidayah. What's the proper definition and the position of Markazul Hidayah? It needs another time. And we have to concentrate today on Ahlul Bayt. Who are Ahlul Bayt? And in this connection, we have to remove the misunderstanding from the both sides. This is our aim today. So we're not ignoring Markazul Hidayah. We leave it for another suitable time. Otherwise, we are not going to justice with Markazul Hidayah, this and this topic. Yeah. And this would be the part of the succession. As Dr. Khurram Saab said, succession is coming. No, we don't have the time. We have to finish at any cost 7 o'clock.
I'm taking this hadith, Kitab Allah.
Yeah. So what's your question, please?
My question is, It is not Al-Bayti only. Prophet said Itrati. And also from the two. Lan tazillu ba'di lan yaftariqa hatta yarda. Lan yaftariqa mean that they will not go against Quran. We can see that some of the Prophet, Karra fi buyut al-Qur'an, there was the Quran, but they went out. You can see, we have to point the other mistake and saying that we are not talking about. We respect, we believe that they are general meaning Ahlul Bayt, but particular meaning, these are the people. We are putting for this hadith that.
So that was Sheikh expounded last time very adequately by the ulama this point from Shia perspective. Because these people, they are masoom, they are the unique, and the Isma, there's a beautiful definition provided by Sheikh Abu Jafar, and you are repeating the same.
No, Itrati. What do you mean the by question?
Yes, this is the question.
Bete.
नकवी साहब को पूरा सेशन दे दे अगला ना,
औलाद
अभी छोड़े थे।
याद है देखें इसको अहले बैत को कुरान हुजूर ने इधर को अहले बैत से मुंसलिक कर दिया। तो ये हदीस आने का फायदा नहीं था अगर बात में करते इस पे हदीस सप्लाइन पे। हम तो मानते हैं कि दे आर पार्ट ऑफ अहले बैत दीन है।
मेरा ख्याल है इसके ऊपर मुस्तकिल साहब को किसी दोस्त के जिम्मे लगाया बात होनी चाहिए।
लेकिन क्वेश्चन का जवाब नहीं दिया, कितनी हदीसें लिखी हैं अपना अज़वाज नबी से, कितनी है जरा?
आप बताएं कितनी है?
We have few hadiths.
Please,
But I want to ask you a
Professor finished this question and answer.
एक बात और भी समझ लें, जो आपने हदीस के हवाले से बात की थी, हमारी कोई भी हदीस की अहले सुन्नत की कोई भी हदीस की किताब आप उठा के देख लें, उसकी आप लिस्ट में चले जाएं, वहां आपको बाकायदा बाब मिलेगा, बाब फदाइल अहले बैत, किताबुल फदाइल। आपने कितनी किताबुल फदाइल सहाबा की दी है?
नहीं, बात ये है कि हमारे यहाँ कम है हदीस से, हमारे अज़वाज से कम ली है, दीगर सहाबा से भी कम ली है।
In English,
ज़्यादा selective रहे हैं।
Yeah.
We have been within our camp, we've been very selective. But I want to ask one thing from Maulana now. Maulana, you said that Ahl can be excluded and included. You said that can be excluded. إنه ليس من أهلك. Or the wife of فخانتا.
because of kufr.
كانت من تحت عبادنا الصالحين فخانتا. Yes.
خانتا وما
فخانتا. So now I want to ask, we have a hadith, Salman minna Ahlul Bayt. Do you believe in that hadith within Ahlul Sunnah?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so now when the Prophet says Salman minna Ahlul Bayt, what is the implication? Is there an implication? I mean, I can say he is my Ahlul Bayt, that's my, or does it have any implication? So does it mean that Salman has a spiritual status, Salman can guide, or just Nabi felt good about it and said Salman is from us? What is the interpretation according to Ahlul Sunnah? Because here is excluding people, the Quran is excluding from Ahlul Bayt. Innahu laysa min ahlak innahu amrun ghayru salih. He is not a good person, not worthy of you. So when the Prophet includes Salman, he is Ahlul Bayt, what does that mean? Or is it just to feel good?
मेरे ख्याल में अहले सुन्नत उलमा और भी बैठे हैं, मेरे सवाल का जवाब दे दें।
Yes, it's not necessary. In what sense when Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, he said Salman minna Ahlul Bayt, and
Was it just that the Prophet felt good about it?
or is it fadila or really part of Ahlul Bayt in real sense, or that's as a fadila special?
यानी बात बड़ी वाज़ेह है ना कि कुरान ने लूत अलैहिस्सलाम और नूह अलैहिस्सलाम की बीवियों को और नूह के बेटे को अहले बैत से निकाला है क्योंकि वो काफिर थे। नबी अलैहिस्सलाम ने सलमान को अहले बैत में शामिल किया, वो मोमिन था, तो असलमान मिन्ना। तो क्या जवाब?
नहीं, तो इसका मतलब क्या हुआ?
नसब से तो नहीं निकाला जी, वो तो मानवी तौर पे अकीदे के एतबार से नसब से तो नहीं,
नसब की बात नहीं हो रही।
और सलमान को नसब में शामिल नहीं किया, नसब में तो हज़रत फातिमा या बाकी बेटियां और
अहले बैत अहले नसब के तौर पर बोला जाएगा, नस्बी बैत अहले बैत।
मेरा सवाल ये बिल्कुल बात बहुत ज़हन पड़ती है, ये बात जब आप कहते हैं ना नसब की बात नहीं है, तो आप रसूल खुदा सलामुल्लाह अलैहि अगर यहाँ होते हैं हमारे पास और इस जुमरे में कहते कि सलमान हमसे है अहलुल बैत, तो हमें अब किस तरह ये समझना चाहिए कि सलमान से जाके हम पूछें आखिरत की बातें, दीन की बातें, या ये कि सलमान की तकदीर करें, या ये कि बस रसूल खुदा ने बस ये कह दिया कहने के खातिर, तो अब हमारा अख्स क्या होगा? सिर्फ नहीं करनी है।
एक मेरा ख्याल उसके कॉन्टेक्स्ट को
Sorry, if you can speak English. Yeah.
Basically we need to look in the context. What was happening there? The church was, they done by the Sahaba, and both Muhajirin and Ansar were present. So when obviously Sulaiman was a strong man. So when he actually, the people saw him that how he is doing the work. So people started saying that Sulaiman, who Minna min al-Muhajirin. Ansar said Minna min al-Ansar because he came from Faris to Medina. And Muhajirin in that context said he is Muhajir because he could have hijrah from forest. But Ansar because he was living before the Muhajirin came. So that's why this was happening, and Prophet ﷺ came out and he heard this, and certainly he said, "Salaam minna Ahlul Bayt."
So why did you say Salman minna Banu Hashim?
No,
I mean, does Ahlul Bayt have some significance that he was including Salman in Ahlul Bayt to show some preference there?
basically the
So
Prophet
let
was
me
saying
let
that
me
he
come in
is,
to summarize
Yeah.
the answer is the same as you provide
Uh-huh.
regarding Salman Farsi, and that was his speciality and the special fadila. In real sense, for example, Salman, when ulama Ahlul Tashayyu, they do mention Ahlul Bayt, they do not include Salman Farsi as the part of Ahlul Bayt in this sense. That's it. But still, this is also found there in Sahih Arba, Kutub Shia as well, the special position of Salman. So that the same is there in Ahlul Sunnah, the similar. So there is a special fadila, his speciality, his special background, or his taqwa, extraordinary commitment with the Holy Prophet. And the Prophet felt that he is something like from Ahlul Bayt. So this is
something special.
Yeah, something special.
Something
special. Yeah.
And because of this,
But in no real sense, he was the part
Yeah.
of Ahlul
No,
Bayt.
but when
Not biologically.
No,
Yeah.
but do we agree that Ahlul Bayt enjoys a very special meaning?
Yeah.
That to be included within Ahlul Bayt is a huge privilege.
Yeah.
Do we agree to that? Within
Yeah,
Sunnah?
yes, huge, extraordinary. Yeah.
That's what I wanted to keep.
Yeah, can I say?
So extra accommodation.
I'm thinking out of the box. If someone is here
Mm.
and listen our discussion, probably he will say that these personalities, these people are fighting over personalities. They don't support Islam, they support personalities. Actually, we need to support Islam, Quran and Sunnah. If we support Quran and Sunnah, then fighting on personalities will go back. But this is the main thing.
सुन्ना
between
कहाँ से आएगी बोला ना
Quran and Sunnah.
सुन्ना कहाँ से आएगी
And the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam gave us a Quran, and in Quran he lima tuharrimu ma ahallallah. These personalities did not give us education, did not educate us to follow the personalities. Even the Quran says lima tuharrimu ma ahallallah. How can other personalities can go further than Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam?
So what your point is the Quran is the major source
Yeah,
of
Quran
guidance.
is the major
So
source.
everybody must be checked, examined on the criteria of the Holy Quran.
Yes.
That's unanimously accepted because at the very first session, in the Quran session, that was discussed.
Yeah.
In the very first session. Any question? Please, question. Any question more? Yes, Sheikh Abu Jafar. Yes.
Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry for my delay. There was a football match today, so I was stuck on the traffic. I'm sorry for that.
You went.
But my point,
Yeah.
yes, my point is that when I was a Shafi mother, and my whole clan in East Africa, they believe. I'm not sure about other Sunni school of thought, but they believe that the first caliph is Sayyidina Abu Bakr, but Ali and Hassan and Hussein and Fatima, they are better than all Muslims. That's how we used to believe.
This
So,
is.
I'm coming there. So we are talking here about the status of Ahlul Bayt. So I believe that the true stand of Ahlul Sunnah is that the first caliph is Sayyidina Abu Bakr, and then Umar, and then Uthman, and then Ali. But the Ahlul Bayt, they are better than all of those Sahabas. I have a lot of reason for that. There was hadith of Abdullah bin Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal, his son. He asked him, who is better after Rasulullah? And Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal, he said, Abu Bakr. And then he said, after Sayyidina Abu Bakr, whom he said Umar. And then he said Uthman. And then the son was very anxious. He asked, what about Ali? Then Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal, he said, Ali min Ahlul Bayt. هؤلاء لا يقاس مع أحد. So this is the true state of Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. I don't know why we drag our feet on this issue. If we have to follow Quran and Sunnah, then we have to stick on this and finish the story.
This is, Sheikh, actually very important topic, and what you've been talking about very briefly, as long as we know, even as you said about the Shafi, even about Sufis, Ahlul Sunnah, some other sects, they do believe the same. Khilafah is on haqq. Sayyidina Abu Bakr, then Sayyidina Umar, then Sayyidina Usman bin Affan, then Sayyidina Ali bin Abi Talib. No question about it. In Daraja, they, basing on these ahadith, Daraja in terms of, the rest of the people comparing to them, they are more greater. But today we are not going to discuss these Daraja. This is not one. Today we have to understand each other's point of view. Who are Ahlul Bayt? They got special position according to these hadiths. Right. Leave it to Allah and His messenger, who was the more better, more greater, less greater. Not talking today, because this is another topic. Right. So here we have to concentrate on the topic. This is the view of Ahlul Bayt. For example, Maulana Naqvi Saab's question is very important, and the Ilzami answer from Mufti Saab, this is also the point of consideration for ulama Ahlul Shia, for Ahlul Sunnah as well, point of consideration. So these are the things we need to understand each other's views. However, we cannot convince each other's, right? This is, you have to keep it in your mind. This is not the meeting to convincing each other, but to understand each other, so that we have to come out of the word of the misgiving and the misconceptions as a taqwa, because we are answerable in front of Allah Ta'ala on the last day. وَلَا تَقْفُ مَا لَيْسَ لَكَ بِهِ عِلْمٌ. This is the rule of taqwa. We have to believe about each other only those things which are true and authentic, and come out of the world of the misconceptions. Yes, young brother from behind. Sorry, keeping you waiting.
That's okay.
Yeah.
My question is a very basic one.
Yeah.
ये जो सवाल है, who are the Ahlul Bayt? This can be asked mafhooman and misdaqan. Mafhooman, we all agree that this includes the wives of the Prophet, right? The Sunni and the Shia. The dispute, the ikhtilaf is with the misdaq of this term. Who are being picked out by this term, the Ahlul Bayt? And you yourself have presented very nicely in your presentation that there are 6 or 7 different opinions as to the misdaq of Ahlul Bayt. Does it include Bani Hashim? Does it include Bani Abbas, for example? Now, when there is ikhtilaf, the Shia present various proofs, various qara'in. For example, that the Ahlul Bayt, the misdaq is Ahlul Kisa. And they present many, many hadith which are in your books as well. So when there is ikhtilaf, and I ask you this position to understand, how do you prove the misdaq of this term Ahlul Bayt to include the wives of the Prophet? When there is ikhtilaf, you cannot return to the musallamat. You cannot say that the mafhum of Ahlul Bayt from the Quran and the linguistic aspects includes Ahlul Bayt, because we agree with that. You need to provide extra evidence beyond the linguistic and the Quranic explanation to then restrict or identify the misdaq to include Ahlul Bayt, to include the wives. So this is my question. How do you establish the wives as part of the misdaq aside from the linguistic and the Quranic? Because this is muqallid.
Can I just respond to you on behalf of Mufti Kafir? That's already verified. I think the response is already there in Mufti Saab's presentation. What he said was, the term Ahlul Bayt conceptually includes the wives. The Quran is quite clear. أَتَعْجَبِينَ مِنْ أَمْرِ اللَّهِ. Yes? So now, Mufti Saab's position, according to Ahlul Sunnah's position, would be that that notion would include all its extensions naturally, unless otherwise excluded. So you have to prove which of the wife of the Prophet was excluded, and there is no need to prove which of the wives was included. Can you see that? So you have to make a case. If you think that the wife is not included within the Ahlul Bayt, then you have to make a case when was it excluded, because the Quran excludes. Of necessity, the concept includes the wife. The extension are included by assumption. So you have to make a case to exclude it, not to include it.
But I've already said that where the ikhtilaf is, that the Shia are saying that Salama is excluded by Rasulullah. So what is your position to include her?
No. So here he made a different statement. that there's a truth, and because last week or last time when we gathered, sorry, I'm going on. Sorry, I didn't understand your position properly myself. I assumed you to be saying something. So what the position here is of the of Mufti Sahib is looking at all of these verses, putting them together, and a hadith. It seems there's a two-tier system of Ahlul Bayt. One is a broader one, and one is more restricted. In the broader one, the wives, the sons, whoever is within the house, the relations. The more restricted one, which discussion Dr. Khalid does not want to include today, is Ahlul Bayt in terms of guidance, in terms of Hadith al-Thaqalain, and Ahlul Bayt in terms of the spirituality, in terms of the verse of Ali Imran, which the brothers are a bit hesitant to have that discussion today here. So we leave that.
इसमें जो नौजवान हैं
मुफ्ती साहब को पहले मौलाना कसूरिया
उम्मे सलमा के बारे में उन्होंने बात की ना कि उनको नबी सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने निकाला है उसमें से अहले सुन्नत के नजदीक ऐसा नहीं है
निकाला नहीं आने नहीं दिया
वही ना आने नहीं दिया अहले बैत से खारिज हो गई ना और क्या है जिसको आने नहीं दिया तो खारिज हो गया
ठीक मुफ्ती आपसे
मुनाज़रा में बात है तो अहले सुन्नत के नजदीक इसकी तशरीह ये है कि जब उम्मे सलमा ने कहा अपने बारे में और उन्होंने जाना चाहा चादर के नीचे तो रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम की इनमें कहते हैं मकसद अहले सुन्नत ये कहते हैं कि उम्मे सलमा तो कुरान के रूह से पहले ही अहले बैत में दाखिल है कुरान ने अज़वाज को पहले अहले बैत करार दे दिया है लिहाजा अब इसको यहाँ लाने की जरूरत है अब यहाँ इसको लाने की जरूरत नहीं है यहाँ उनको लाया जा रहा है जिनका जिक्र कुरान ने नहीं किया और उनको इस आयत का मिस्दाक बनाया जा रहा है और इसमें शामिल किया जा रहा है लिहाजा मुसलमान के आने की जरूरत नहीं थी
Sheikh Abdul Hamid, then Dr. Ali Raza.
Yes, basically after the Quran we don't need any other proof. Mafhuman and misdaqan, wives already there, but however Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam by the hadith included those four people.
Actually, I don't think that's an accurate assumption that you're making.
This is from
because in the verse, innahu laysa min ahlik, innahu amalun ghayru salih, it means that mafhuman, the children are included by priority. According to this verse, yes, as you're saying, the wives are included, the children are included by priority. So this thing that the Prophet gave a hadith to include those that the Quran does not include is a very weak demonstration. In fact, the Quran by priority includes the children. Ala ahla baytin yakfulunahu. They already, the Quran is including mothers and the blood relations.
But it includes wives as well.
Yeah, I know. But to give a demonstration that Salama was already included, and then hence the Prophet wanted to prove that his children were already there. That is already given anyway. That is already within the Quran and proven. So that explanation is very weak one.
There are Sheikh point of differences as well.
No, but I'm just
obviously
saying,
from both sides.
no, that's fine. I'm just talking about the logical sort of arguments. That's what I'm
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
Dr. Ali Raza.
Benefited a lot actually. It was very, very interesting. I think the key to the whole position was this, which we've just come to. The Mufti Sahib explaining that the assumption is that Azwaj is included and the hadith are specific to these four to emphasize or maybe at a different degree, okay, for these specific four individuals. But my question is that notwithstanding that, you mentioned many ahadith identifying these four people as Ahlul Bayt. Is there any Sahih hadith in the Sunni tradition which is put in both categories side by side as Ahlul Bayt? Azwaj and these four individuals? Because you didn't mention explicitly. I think maybe at the end of the talk you pointed to some. This is just for my genuine knowledge. Other question is that when we look in, for example, Sahih Muslim, we say Fada'il Ahlul Bayt. Bab Fada'il Ahlul Bayt, which you mentioned. We look for this Bab Fada'il Ahlul Bayt. So within Bab Fada'il Ahlul Bayt, all we find is Hadith al-Kisa. Okay, so within Bab Fada'il Ahlul Bayt of the Sunni compilers, we don't find the category of, at least as Muslim, as far as I know. We don't find these other categories. So does that mean that even those compilers of the Hadith saw a distinction between the Azwaj and these four individuals?
मतलब पूछ रहे हैं कि अहले सुन्नह के यहाँ कोई ऐसी हदीस है जिनमें दोनों का जिक्र हुआ हो साथ साथ अज़वाज नबी और ये 4 जो अशख़ास हैं, पहला ये सवाल।
कुरान के अलावा, कुरान में तो है, लेकिन जैसे कि इन 4 का ऐसा अज़वाज को भी ये भी आ इस यस
अहले सुन्नत के यहाँ ऐसी कोई सही हदीस नहीं।
सिर्फ एक रवायत है हज़रत आयशा से आ रही है कि नहनु अहलुल बैत ला नाकुलु सदका, हम आले बैत जो है वो हज़रत आयशा को
नहनु आले मोहम्मद, नहनु आले मोहम्मद।
अलामा उनके हज़रत आयशा कह रही है जैसे
मैंने इसलिए सही का लफ्ज़ इस्तेमाल किया है कि अहले सुन्नत के यहाँ कोई सही हदीस ऐसी नहीं है। अल्लामा अलबानी ने उसको ज़ईफ़ कहा है।
Please, the
second की तरफ आते हैं। The academic discussion, that's enough.
Yes,
No munazara, no debate चला। We need to understand it.
दूसरा सवाल ये था कि आपने कहा कि अबवाब होते हैं कुतुब सही में मुअल्लफ़ात ऑफ फज़ल अहल बैत, लेकिन डॉक्टर साहब कह रहे हैं कि जहाँ तक उनका मुताबिया है बस एक ही हदीस का जिक्र है, वही हदीस सकलैन का, हदीस किसा का।
Sahih Muslim regarding Ahlul Bayt is just Qissa. So did these compilers of hadith also see a distinction between Azwaj and Ahlul
तो ये मुअल्लिफ़ीन जो थे हदीस के, क्या इन लोगों ने भी ये तमीज़ डाली थी अज़वाज और इन 4 अशख़ास के दरमियान मिन हैस अहलुल बैत?
ये हदीस किसा जो इमाम मुस्लिम ने जिक्र किया है उस बात में वो एक किया। मैंने जो जवाब दिया था तो मैंने उसमें सिर्फ सही मुस्लिम की बात नहीं की थी, मैंने कहा था कि सियासत्ता और मुस्नद अहमद और कितनी हदीस की किताबें अहले सुन्नत की, तो उनमें मुस्तकिल बाब हैं अहले बैत के फ़ज़ाइल के। तो सियासत्ता में तिरमिज़ी शामिल है, आप उस तिरमिज़ी को आप देख लें, वहाँ आपको हदीस सकलैन कई तुरक़ से मिलेगी, बड़ी तफसील के साथ मिलेगी, और उनके ऊपर हमारे मुहद्दिसीन ने कहा है कि ये सही हदीस है। ये बात इनकी दुरुस्त है, उसे मैं मानता हूँ कि मुस्लिम ने उस बाब में सिर्फ एक ही रवायत नकल की है।
उनका सवाल जो है ना वो ये है कि मुहद्दिसीन जब हदीस में बाप बनते हैं तो अज़वाजुन नबी का बाप आले बैत से इलादा होता है। और ये आप देखिए कोई भी हदीस की किताब उठाएं जहाँ आले बैत का जिक्र है वहाँ सिर्फ हसनैन, फातिमा और अली का जिक्र होता है, और अज़वाजुन नबी के लिए इलादा बाप बनते हैं। तो जब वो अज़वाजुन नबी को आले बैत में मानते हैं आले सुन्नत, तो उनके लिए इलादा बाप क्यों मानते हैं?
या इनके दरमियान कोई
सब मुहद्दिसीन के नज़दीक ऐसा नहीं है, सब मुहद्दिसीन के नज़दीक ऐसा नहीं है। कुछ मुहद्दिसीन ने अज़वाज के लिए अलग बाप बांधे हैं और आले बैत का अलग बाप बांधा है, लेकिन ऐसे भी बेशुमार मुहद्दिसीन हैं कि जिन्होंने एक ही बाप के तहत जो है वो उनको जिक्र किया है।
नहीं, लेकिन वो सब एक किताब के तहत सारे एक।
लेकिन अगर मैं ये समझता हूँ कि मुहद्दिसीन जो है, मुहद्दिसीन ने ये जो तफरीक की है, तो गालिबन ये तो वो ही बेहतर जानते हैं कि उनका मज़मून नज़र क्या था, लेकिन हम जो समझे हैं तो वो शायद यही नुक्ता होगा।
जज़ाकल्लाह। Just before you, Dr. Maulana Ashraf Qureshi, then Dr. Saab, maybe final.
I would like a final.
You are very final.
All right.
Final, very final. Maulana Ashraf Qureshi. Sir, briefly. Yeah.
My English is not very good.
Urdu में
Say few words in Urdu. मुझे इंतहाई खुशी हुई आप हज़रात की मजलिस में बैठकर। मेरा कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं है ना आपसे ना मुफ्ती साहब से, कोई क्रॉस क्वेश्चन भी नहीं है, उसके लिए टाइम चाहिए। मैं सिर्फ एक बात अर्ज करना चाहता हूँ, हमारी जो कम्युनिटी है वो 3 तरह की कम्युनिटी है। कुछ वो लोग हैं जो शिया से भी और सुन्नियों से भी जितना दीन को समझते हैं उस पर अमल करते हैं और किसी दूसरे के बारे में कोई बात नहीं करते हैं। कुछ और लोग हैं जो अमल करते हैं या नहीं करते हैं, लेकिन वो दूसरों को सवाब समझकर गालियाँ देते हैं। और आपको पता है आपके बुजुर्ग क्या छोड़ गए किताबों में, हमें मालूम है कि हमारे बुजुर्गों ने क्या विरसा छोड़ा है। अगर हम इसको साफ करना चाहें तो नहीं कर सकते। ये वो चीज़ें हैं जिसके ऊपर उलमा ने अपनी जिंदगियां खपा दी हैं। तो ये कोई मेरा ख्याल है कि हमारे बस की ये बात नहीं है। मुझे खुशी इस बात की है कि एक तीसरी कैटेगरी जिनकी सोच मुस्बत है, वो चाहते हैं कि इल्मी तौर पर बात हो और कम से कम ऐसा माहौल हो कि जहां हम बैठकर एक दूसरे के साथ बात कर सके और समझ सके। लेकिन इसको अगर आप मुनादरे के तौर पर ले जाएंगे, इसको अगर आपके ज़हन में जो कुछ है वो आप दूसरे के ऊपर मुसल्लत करने की कोशिश करेंगे या हम करेंगे, तो मेरा ख्याल है ये प्रोग्राम भी नहीं चलेगा। अब मैं अगर फ़ज़ाइल अबू बकर, उमर, उस्मान वाली सब के बयान करना चाहूँ तो मुझे टाइम चाहिए। तो मेरा ख्याल है अगर इसके बजाय आप हजरात यहाँ बैठते हैं, अल्लाह ताला ने अगर ये कबूल किया है, तो हमें कुछ बर्निंग इश्यूज के ऊपर बात करनी चाहिए और कुछ उन इश्यूज के ऊपर के जो ज़्यादा एक दूसरे के लिए तकलीफ दे नहीं। मैं अगेन ये कहूँगा कि हमारे बुजुर्गों ने जो विरसा छोड़ा है अपनी किताबों में, ना आपके बस की बात है, चूँकि मैंने पढ़ी है आपकी किताबें, ना जो हमारे बुजुर्गों ने छोड़ा ना हमारे बस की बात है। बल्कि अब कुछ किताबें ऐसी हैं मार्केट के अंदर कि उनको उठाकर हाथ में लेकर ऐसे लगता है जैसे कुत्ते ने मुर्दार खाकर रोटी खाती है। मैं कम से कम अपनी लाइब्रेरी में रखना बर्दाश्त नहीं करता। तो मैं
थोड़ा सा मुख्तसर
मैं खुशी महसूस करता हूँ और मैं आप हजरात से दरख्वास्त करता हूँ और उम्मीद करता हूँ कि आप मेरी इस गुजारिश पर जरा गौर फरमाएं।
आप जो कि पहली मरतबा तशरीफ लाए हैं, हमारा मकसद यही है, हम यहाँ पर जो इख्तिलाफात डिस्कस करते हैं उसका नतीजा इत्तेफाक पर मुंतज होता है। अभी आप देखेंगे कि हमने उसका खुलासा क्या ये चीज़ होती है, यहाँ मुनाजरा नहीं, अंडरस्टैंडिंग है। अभी आप देख रहे हैं कि उसका खुलासा क्या है। पिछली कभी डॉक्टर खुरम रशीद,
just a minor observation that here number 4 our presenter says that Musnad Ibn Abi Shayba में सही सनद के साथ मरवी है, और in a response to a question he said it's not सही, it's ضعيف. There is a contradiction. ला इन्ना आलू मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ला तहिल्लु लना सदक़. It should be sadaqa, but anyway that is a typing mistake maybe.
So you think this is daif?
No, it is sahih. But in response to a question he said it's daif. So he is contradicting himself. जी यही हजरत आयशा की हदीस है। हजरत आयशा की हदीस सही क्या लिख रहा है और अभी उसको ज़ईफ बना दिया है। We have a very weak presenter for Ahlus Sunnah tonight.
Don't say weak. There may be some time mistake.
कभी भी नहीं मान सकते ये बात। उन्होंने मेरे साथ पे अटैक करना होता है। नहीं, ये जो आखिरी लफ्ज उन्होंने कहा है इंतहाई नफरत का लफ्ज है और मैं इसके ऊपर एहतजाज कर रहा हूं।
नहीं, हम भी कहते हैं कि खुरम साहब को ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए।
This is ये जो है ना नफरत उन्होंने वीक कहा है, वो
इस्माइल
उनकी अपनी
ठीक ठाक अगला क्लास दिया इन्होंने आपको तो कुछ भी लगा चाहिए।
और अगर Allah and His Prophet in front of us, yes, we are doing this for the sake of Allah and His Prophet. So we need to appreciate.
Before I to present just the khulasa and the points, right?
I just want to
जिस हदीस के ऊपर खुरम साहब ने बात की है ना जी कि मैंने इसको ज़ईफ कहा है, यहाँ पर जो मैंने ये लिखा है कि सही सनद के साथ मरवी है, ये मैंने अहले सुन्नत का नुक्ता नज़र पेश किया है। ये मेरा ज़ाती नुक्ता नज़र नहीं है। मुमकिन है कि मुझे इससे इख्तिलाफ हो।
ठीक है, सही कोई बात नहीं।
जवाब सही सनद के साथ जो मैंने कहा है ये अहले सुन्नत के नुक्ता नज़र से मैंने यहाँ लिखा है। लेकिन जो मैंने ये कहा कि ये हदीस ज़ईफ है, ये हदीस ज़ईफ है, ये मेरी रिसर्च है, मेरी तहकीक है और अल्लामा अलबानी इसको ज़ईफ करार देते हैं।
But I just pinpointed a contradiction in the presentation. Nothing personal. Nothing personal.
आखिरी सवाल है।
Confusion हो गई थोड़ी।
English. The Shia have the notion of Imam al-Husayn's son being an Imam after him and from Ahlul Bayt, who is with Kitab Allah. Does Ahlul Sunnah have such a notion after al-Husayn? In the, for example, Kitab Allah wa Itrati Ahlul Bayti, we have Ali, Salamullah, al-Fatima, Fatima, al-Husayn. Is there a notion within Ahlul Sunnah for Ahlul Bayt after al-Husayn?
Don't take it personal. I just pinpointed, highlighted a contradiction.
वक्त नहीं है, वो कहते हैं कि आफ्टर इमाम हुसैन अहले सुन्नत के अंदर अहले बैत का सिलसिला आगे भी माना जाता है या नहीं, या वहां पर खत्म हो जाता है। यानी वो जानना चाहते हैं कि अहले सुन्नत का मौक़िफ़ क्या है, जो एस्टैब्लिश ऑथेंटिक है।
देखिए, जो अवामी सतह पर जो चीज़ है वो तो हज़रत इमाम हुसैन के बाद लोग मानते ही हैं, और उनकी जो औलाद है और आज भी जो लोग मौजूद हैं या तो उनकी औलाद को आज भी अहले सुन्नत अक्सरियत जो है वो अहले बैत मानती है।
मतलब वो नाम जो शियों के वही है
नहीं, लेकिन असल में ये जो मौजू इन्होंने कहा ना कि फिर उसके ऊपर अलग जैसे नकवी साहब ने बात करनी पड़ेगी। मेरे ख्याल में इसमें ये चीज वो फिर मरकज़ हिदायत वाली बात आ जाती है। अहले सुन्नत के हाँ ऐसा नहीं है, अहले सुन्नत के हाँ ऐसा नहीं है कि वो अहले बैत ही को मरकज़ हिदायत कहते हो या इमाम हुसैन के बाद वो इस सिलसिले को खत्म कर देते हैं। तो उस हवाले से तो कोई बात नहीं है इमाम हुसैन के बाद। लेकिन जहाँ तक जहाँ तक अहले बैत का ताल्लुक है तो वो आज तक उनकी जो औलाद है उसको अहले सुन्नत अहले बैत ही समझते हैं।
You know, when I said it's a weak presentation, I like to substantiate just what has been said now. At the end.
Okay, as a point, Khulasa, as Mufti Saab has presented, and you can understand and you can examine the both sides, they are very close. And if there is an ikhtilaf, does not amount to any iman and kufr and dalala and the deviation, and both sides authentic views. For example, today's Mufti Saab, mashallah, he has presented very good and is substantiated now. You are aapko mustahkam kara de.
No, you haven't understood me. I like to substantiate by saying, quoting him what he said.
Leave it.
Okay, if you like to leave it.
Very briefly.
Yes, very briefly. Look here. At the end, अज़वाज रसूल सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम बिलाशुबह अहले बैत हैं, लेकिन उनका सिलसिला उनकी वफ़ात के साथ ख़त्म हो गया। लेकिन औलाद रसूल का सिलसिला हज़रत अली रज़ियल्लाहु ताला अन्हु और फ़ातिमा रज़ियल्लाहु ताला के ज़रिए से जारी रहा और जारी है। When he understands that there is no markaz hidayah in Sunni theology, how come he puts a point to weaken his own case? No, this is not funny. How come he makes his case very weak by stating what he has stated? You understand my point?
Something very briefly because time is already ended and I'm receiving reminder again and again. Okay, it's Ahlul Bayt is a great and the respected institution and the source of guidance as expounded by Quran and Sunnah. According to the authentic Ahl Sunnah, Ahlul Azwaj, they are also the source of Hidayah, the established. That's why they are riwayat from Azwaj as well. And these four specified people.
सर हिदायत की बात ही नहीं हो रही, बात हो रही है कि सिर्फ उस वक्त बात ही नहीं होने देगी ना, आप इसको रखिए
source in simple sense, because it was discussed last time as well, from your side. From this side, if you don't mention Ahl Sunnah side, it means Ahl Sunnah do not believe in the source of guidance, neither Azwaj nor these people. So this misunderstanding should be removed. But there is no, with great respect, this is not necessary. Everyone should be convinced 100%. But you need to understand what Ahl Sunnah believe, whether you agree with or not. But this is the position. In detail, what's Markazul Hidayah? This needs more time. So this is one point. The second point, the respected wives of the Holy Prophet are the important part of Ahlul Bayt. This is, and the direct misdaq of the address of the Quran and also the source of guidance as well. This is not the simple meaning, right? As last time you said, Azwaj Mutaharat, they are the part of Ahlul Bayt in the literal sense of the Quran. So the literal sense we are going. The point, the Prophet also declared the 4 people, Ahlul Qasa, as the members of Ahlul Bayt in his numerous ahadith on some important occasions, and also they are, again, I must say, the source of guidance as well.
Have you written there?
Yeah.
We published after that. The Ahlul Bayt, Azwaj and Ahlul Bakr and that, and these are some of the book.
Yeah.
Part of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Because this is the authentic view as been presented. According to the ahadith of Hurmatus Sadaqa, some other people of Banu Hashim, such as Ali Abbas, Ali Jafar, Ali Aqid, Ali Talib, are also made the part of Ahlul Bayt. But this is not grounded and established view of Ahlul Sunnah as presented. But this is also existing there. And one point, because last time this is that was mentioned as Masoom. Can you just, what's the established view of Ahlul Sunnah? The Ahlul Bayt, are they Masoom or not? That's enough today. Yes, no. So they are not. Now here we can understand, the position of Ahlul Sunnah here. Last time, what are the differences? They are not much, because the both sides, they are very, very close to one another. For example, Ahlul Sunnah, according to them, Azwaj Mutaharat, they are the part Ahlul Bayt. And Ahlul Shia, they also accept the part of Ahlul Bayt in literal sense according to the Holy Quran. You can understand. And according to ulama Ahlul Shia, Shia established madhab, and these people, they are especially chosen, and we are being commanded to take guidance from them, very especially on the separate occasions. And this is the only difference between Azwaj and these people of the rest of the Ahlul Bayt, Ahlul Qasa. To Ahlul Sunnah, these are not Masoom, right? But they are highly respected. While from Ahlul Shia, this authentic mazhab is they are Masoom. But I must add here, as I read last time on behalf of Ahlul Shia, when they say Masoom, it doesn't mean that their isma or their position is the equal of the Holy Prophet, as it has been misunderstood, or damaging or undermining the position of Khatamul Anbiya, the finality of the Prophet. No, this is a position, this is a speciality of these people being as Masoom. It has nothing to do with the equality of the Prophet or finality Khatmul Nubuwwah, because they have been established by the Quran. This is the special position with the barakah of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, and they were gifted. So here, the other side, Ahlul Sunnah, may differ from this point, but this is from here we can understand whatever we hear outside against each other. This is kufr and the dalala and the deviation. And when we are here, we discuss and we understand each other, and there is nothing as such. So this is the point, alhamdulillah, we have achieved here. And this is the purpose of understanding each other. And we must not be frustrated that, because even in the academic discussion, you are allowed to show your differences, and you ask the other side, I'm not satisfied. To me, I'm not satisfied. This is a part. Because without this, we can never achieve our desired goal. And I think we have to
but what you have read, it is not, there's no consensus. If you like to have a consensus, then you should have time. Actually, put it before 20 minutes, half an hour, PowerPoint. Yeah. If you like to have a consensus that this is the view of the whole sitting, then we should have at least thoroughly, not haphazardly, you read it and that's it. It's not the way.
So you mean there should be the proper consensus?
Yeah, no, consensus.
Consensus in
people
what
may
sense?
people may
Good
have
point.
may have their own little bit contribution towards what you have written down. Not someone write down and we say,
I think time was.
make 2.5 hours. I don't mind coming after 2 months, enjoying a very beautiful dinner. Why not have another half an hour?
It's right.
Yeah.
That's a very valid point.
Yeah.
Everybody can then give their own views.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yes. That's all right.
So then we
Yes.
come, because Naqvi Sahab Muhtaram said it will be published, so then we will be comfortable.
All right.
It's on
That's
our
it.
behalf.
All right. We will have this is the good discussion, and this is the summary for the purpose of consensus. We appreciate your proposal, and it will be inshallah.
And extend half an
जब
hour.
आप कंक्लूड करते हैं ना, आप
हाँ।
कोई सेक्रेटरी बिठाएं
Mm.
जो साथ साथ वो वैसे भी
Yeah.
वो टाइप करते जाएं और आखिर में वो आ जाएगा उसके ऊपर।
All right. Okay, so that's the end of this session. Thank you very much, the people, brothers and sisters who have participated. And we have to conclude this session with the dua of the Holy Prophet. And don't remember that food is waiting for you outside. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون